Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and especially Good, Bad, and Ugly today, because we're going to be doing all Madcap. What does that mean? Tiffany, you want to enlighten us as to what this means?
It means that we found a bunch of books in the quarter bin.
We?
We.
Yeah, she and I.
We.
Oh,
Or don't
We-
lump me and Ben in with this.
Listen, people, I needed content for GBU. I saw they were all united under a similar theme, which is what GBU is all
That
about.
is
And that's
true.
Madcap. By the way, Deadpool fans will know who Madcap is.
Yes, I'll tell you more about Madcap as we wrap up. But seemingly Madcap appears... These are his first 3 appearances in comics. So, gentlemen, I figure it's fitting for you to tell us about his first appearance in Captain America number 307.
Written by Mark Grunwald, penciled by Paul Neary, and inked by Dennis Janke. Captain America's over in England, and Captain Britain is dropping him off at a plane, and he gets on the plane, and he's out of the rest of the book. You're done.
That's right.
That's enough, Cap.
We get back to Cap's apartment, though.
We do get a fantastic flashback to
A team called the Invaders.
Yes.
Because they call him an invader.
Yes, in England, he's an invader. And I thought it was because he's like an American
Invading
and he's
No,
like
no,
invading,
that's a
and then
team.
it's like, oh no, they were a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say there is enough Cap in this book. A Madcap, if you will.
Ooh, you can't have too much. My favorite part of that sequence is the stewardess going, check your disc.
Yeah. What?
Please.
Like, do you mean my shield?
We call shields discs in
And
England.
apartments flats.
Yeah, and boots or trunks or hoods. I don't remember.
And the elevator's a lift.
Yeah.
And here's your torch.
And not the humankind.
By the way, I love the cover of this book advertises a dramatic look back at the invaders of World War II. It's a single panel.
Yes.
Where
he acknowledges he was on that team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Well-
we see them in a
Well, it
little
is
balloon.
dramatic because he's using it to escape the boring conversation that's happening to him
It's
next
true.
to him.
Yeah.
But
True,
at the
it is
same
dramatic.
time, like, he and this guy should be getting along like swimmingly. They're
Yeah.
both talking about World War II, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but Cap's like, I only care about my World War II
Yeah.
adventures.
Nor do I
Yours
want
were
to talk
boring.
to you.
Yeah.
You're British.
Did you fall into ice? No. Shut up.
So we cut to Cap's apartment where Nomad has been hanging out.
He's crashing on Cap's couch.
Yep.
He's a total loser.
And he's been, he's been hitting the streets night after night because Cap is away. And he's like, who else is going to stop the crime? Even though he didn't ask me to. And Bernie stops by and she's like, wow, Nomad, you're sure sleeping a whole lot. You should probably get a job.
a
And
new
you're not going
hero.
to get a job if you're out late and sleeping late.
yeah.
Yeah.
Passive aggression.
Good
Yeah.
point.
The
Yeah.
hero.
The hero of this. Truly the hero of the story.
Yeah. And he's
Well-
lunging necklines.
Yeah, I was gonna say, check out Nomad, revolutionizing the boob window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
he's an
chest
equal opportunity
window.
superhero.
Yeah,
It's a triangular chest window.
it's his peck window.
Weird.
Yeah.
Check
but you're
out
right. He's a
part of
big
my
loser and he won't,
He has a
won't
crappy
get a job.
costume and he won't get a job.
And like after Bernie kind of sticks it to him, he's like, you know what? I have just been like loafing around Cap's apartment, not paying rent for a while.
Yeah.
I should get myself a job. And then Bernie and Cap can finally take me seriously because Cap always saw him as like a sidekick instead of his own superhero.
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah.
I guess he is. It's bizarre too because Cap's been gone 4 months and he's just like, I've just been living in his apartment, mooching off his couch and his food. I'm like, for months?
Months.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of frozen dinners in there.
And
You
canned
understand, Captain
things.
America has like cans and cans of just condensed milk.
Captain America just has piles of cash lying around that he's been using to keep the fridge stocked.
Exactly.
Oh, nice. Maybe he hides it in vases that you can break open.
Okay, if nothing else, Captain America just has like a delivery service that drops off groceries once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
he's
he's a
Nomad just-
freaking Avenger.
He's
He
got a
doesn't have time
subscription
shop.
to a food
Bank. Yeah.
I'm sure
That's for poor people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain
He
take a
signed Nomad
salary
up.
from the Avengers, so
He signed Nomad up. Well,
Yeah.
he's a loser.
Yeah.
He's going to need this.
Yeah.
People give me stuff for free. I'm Captain America.
But
he's-
Nomad's gonna have to work for it.
I have my Avengers card.
We'll give him
It's
stamps.
basically money.
Yeah, it gets me free airline tickets.
Then we cut to a costume shop, Ace Costume Shop. And dudes goes inside. This is a place for me. This is what I need right here. He shoots the proprietor with a crazy ray gun, and he goes crazy. and this turns out to be, well, I don't want to spoil it. He goes into the shop and he takes some stuff. He says some weird things. He says, when he goes in, the guy behind the counter says, "Can I help you?" He says, "No, I'm beyond help." In fact, everybody's beyond help. I'm like, uh-oh. We got a nihilist or something on our hands.
What a creepy intro.
Yeah, so then we cut to the grocery store where Nomad has decided to apply for a job, and the owner or manager rightly questions why someone who lists Nick Fury as a reference would possibly want to take a job bagging groceries.
First of all, I think that really exemplifies how much of a jerk and an idiot he is. You put Nick Fury,
Yeah.
As your
secret
reference.
You imagine
super
Nick Fury?
spy,
Hello?
as
Yeah.
a reference.
How did you get this number?
Yeah.
Jack Monroe gave it to me. He's applying to be a bagger at my local grocery store.
Well, first of all, don't hire him.
Yeah.
Second of all,
Never
don't.
call here again, or I'll bomb you to the Stone Age with my shield helicarrier.
You know what?
Yeah.
Hang on, you're dead.
Yeah.
Don't move.
And what's amazing is this dude just apparently takes his word for it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not calling Nick
I'm
Fury.
not calling Nick Fury.
He's hiring a bag boy. He's
Yeah.
like,
You brought in a resume, you're hired.
first of all, you say you're 23 years old. You're clearly 35.
Yes. He is a grown man.
Oh, yeah.
So
Definitely.
Tiffany,
He's always
everyone
drawn
dresses
that
this
way.
responsibly nowadays.
Yeah, he wears a suit to this
cleans up
interview as a
good.
bag boy.
Yeah.
As a bag boy.
Yeah. And the dude's like, "Are you sure you're going to stay with his job?" And
Right,
he's
'cause I
like,
need somebody who's going to commit.
"Yes, I will. I really want to be a bag boy."
I
And
want
he's
to
like,
stick it to Cap's girlfriend or whatever.
"Yeah."
I want to stick it in Cap's girlfriend.
What?
No, he wants to stick it in with the...
With the
other-
the cashier.
Yeah, the cashier.
Yeah, Carmella.
Carmella,
By the way,
yeah.
This grocery store owner is weirdly stringent on this whole thing. It's it's a bag boy.
It's
Yeah.
professional.
Oh,
Let's see
hire
about
you
this.
on a trial
Whoa,
basis.
whoa.
You-
Tiffany, bag boys' responsibilities go way beyond just putting groceries in. You have to also say goodbye to people, sometimes carry them out to their car.
Yeah.
You're
Maybe
in New
you have to
York,
stock
right?
shelves once in a while.
Yeah.
What
there's
car?
Yeah. There's
The
no,
cab.
yeah. Carry it to the yeah. You might have to stock. When there's no customers around.
Or when the stalker is busy.
Very
Actually,
complex and
that's
difficult job.
the stock guy, not me. I'm the bag boy.
It's a small store. They might not have a dedicated stock guy.
But they do. We
They
see
do,
that
because
later
we do
on.
see
Yes.
that. That's true. Yeah.
He's doing his job, and he's just like, you know what? I think I'm really digging this. I get to talk to people all the time. I actually have coworkers to speak with.
Yeah.
And this
hit on?
Carmella's not bad. Maybe I'll ask her for a date later. And then, we get a cut over to Bernie, and she's over at this custom glass blowing place. And they're like, business kind of sucks. Because people
Yeah.
aren't buying glass like it was in the 60s.
No.
Rent's going up. It's just hard all around.
Profits down.
Profits down. We might have to shut down.
And Bernie's like, what happens if that happens? Just like, look, if that happens, we'll find a way to make money, but we may not have jobs.
At least there's always the grocery store. I can become a bag girl or something.
Yep.
But
People
no, Jack
always
Monroe
need.
took that job.
Yeah.
So now Bernie's stressed out about
And
work.
she's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have given
Jack such a hard
time because now maybe I'll be unemployed."
Yeah.
And you get out into New York, and Madcap is just shooting his gun at everybody in the
bubble
streets.
gun.
Yeah.
And they're going crazy.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's shooting bubbles, but also rainbows. Mm-hmm. It's a little
Yeah.
unclear exactly
Well,
how
maybe
the
the
gun works.
rainbows are actually just a trick of the light, because as you know, if you look through a bubble, you can see the prism of
Yeah,
the
that's
spectrum
true.
of.
Yeah, except they're coming out of the barrel.
Oh yeah, no,
But that's where a bubble's coming in.
Yeah,
So,
there's also a bubble coming out. It's
guess.
real weird.
it doesn't matter.
So, everyone starts going nuts. They're singing songs. They're dancing. They're sometimes not making any sense whatsoever.
Acting
like
like
the
animals
mask
and
attacked
stuff.
them.
Yeah.
Yes. Or
And-
Ghostbusters 3.
And a cop is on the scene, and he sees Madcap, and he's like, stop, or I'll shoot you.
With a real gun.
Yeah.
And he sees Madcap going for his gun. So Madcap fires at him. The cop fires and hits him right in the chest. And Madcap's blown against a wall, and he falls down, and suddenly, miraculously, the bullet wound just heals and goes away.
Oh no.
Take that, Wolverine.
Yeah.
And he didn't even feel it.
Yes.
So he's like,
he doesn't
"All right."
feel pain, and
And his
he's
healing factor is next level.
yeah.
Yeah. Back to Bag Boy Jack.
Oh yeah. Back to the thrilling adventures of Jack the Bag Boy.
Yeah, on his first day, and he's cracking wise and
And macking on the cashier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
day one.
Yep.
Yep. But not even. It's the first hour.
Yeah.
Hour one.
Yep. That he's convinced this job is for him. He's
this
probably
is-
terrible at it.
This
He's
is my
probably
life.
like crushing
this is
people's bread
fantastic.
and
I'm just
stuff.
like putting things in this grocery.
You start with the bread and eggs on the bottom, and then
Yeah,
you take all
and
the
then you
canned
pile
goods, you
it all on
just smush them
top.
on top.
Yeah.
I can get all in one bag.
You can fit more in
Not only that,
way.
but like you got all this lettuce that's like hanging out. Hang on, rip it in half. toss
Yeah,
it in
well,
there.
you
Now I
fit.
fixed it.
Yeah.
And these baguettes, just break those in half, stuff
You
those
don't want
in.
it sticking out of the bag.
Of course not.
We're not in France here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so then a rock comes through the window because there's a riot outside. It's Madcap's crazy people. And
Carmella
gets
injured.
cut. She gets cut by flying glass. And he's like, oh, Carmella, are you okay? Let me see your arm.
There's like people on the ground covered in glass. He's
Yeah,
like, "Are
he
you
looks
okay?"
around and
And
like,
he's
like, yeah, I just kinda tripped a
Look
little
into
bit.
my
seem okay.
eyes, my deep baby blues, and tell me you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I better go change Nomad. And they're like, he's like, hey there, buddy. You're not going anywhere.
You gotta
Yeah.
mind the store. You gotta protect the merchandise.
Yeah, the boss is like, you're the bag boy.
Yeah.
We can't have you
anywhere.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
There's a riot going on. People are going to need their groceries.
Some people are going to need to hydrate.
I think it's like people are gonna try to ransack the store.
That's
you
what
have
it
to
is.
defend
You're
it.
the only man around.
That's
so
not
we
true.
No, there's another man.
No, there are
Oh,
quite
that's
a
right,
few.
the stock boy.
Stock boys there.
And there's the pharmacist, or whoever that guy is, customer service, I
He's,
guess.
yeah, he's customer service. He's in one of the little raised up platform.
Yeah, he's
things.
keeping an eye on
He's
things.
more
see
of
in
a
some
manager in that.
Yeah.
doesn't
He doesn't get his
really-
hands dirty.
no.
Yeah.
But the owner's on the floor doing stuff
Yeah, this is an active manager.
with a clipboard.
Yeah.
So you know he's serious business.
Yeah.
Well, the
he-
manager's calling the police, so he's doing something. Oh no, he's calling for an ambulance.
Yeah, it's somebody else.
Yeah,
So
I don't know who that guy is. He's running the front.
anyway, Jack's like, do I risk losing my job to be Nomad?
My bag boy job that I've had for an hour.
That took me no effort to get.
That I'm literally
Yes.
planning my 30-year career on.
Yes, I do.
Well, it's like, okay, so wait, your two things you wanted to do was be a superhero and not be a sidekick and get a job.
Yep.
Which one's more important right now?
Right now should be being a superhero,
Yeah.
which it is.
Which
Right now
yeah.
should be trying to bang Carmella.
Well, yeah.
I'll
I
table that
always
for
found
now.
Yeah, that was
well.
it was the third option I didn't tell you about.
Well, what I'll do
damn.
is I'll save the day, and then I'll tell her my identity, and then she'll know that I saved the day, and then she'll want to bang me.
Totally.
I'm assuming that's his plan.
It is not.
No,
That
you
would be my
don't tell them
plan.
your secret
It's a
identity.
good plan.
You
That's
tell
a solid
them.
plan.
No, you always tell them your secret
No,
identity.
you don't tell them your secret identity.
I mean, you don't because it's stupid, but you do because you want to have sex.
No, you don't because it creates mystery and intrigue.
Yeah.
And then they want to have
Here's
sex.
the thing.
Yeah, why are you always like leaving our dates early and like where are you going? Oh, who's to say?
Yeah,
It's mysterious.
They never assume that
They
it's
love
your,
that.
they never assume you're a superhero. They always assume you're cheating on them.
That's if it's an actual date.
You know, in a
Yeah.
world where there's
You have to have gotten the date first.
well, which he's not even close.
No, but
as
you're
we'll
right.
find out.
In a world where there are superheroes rampant,
Yeah, that's not the most unreasonable.
she's like,
Like,
maybe he's a superhero. Yeah, or maybe he's married.
How many people do you think in the superhero universe who are not superheroes use that
Right.
to get away with cheating?
Too
Oh,
many.
like
Yeah.
at least a third of the population.
Yeah, there's so many Daredevils
they like
in the
leave
tri-state area.
costumes like in drawers and
Yep.
stuff.
She's like,
It's like True Lies.
oh my god, my husband's Daredevil. I won't tell him.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal that I know because
I gotta go, honey.
because this is a retcon
I know,
and I actually
sweetheart.
knew the whole time.
Be careful, wink. Does she know that I'm
Oh my
sleeping
God.
with my secretary and she's cool with it?
I better double bag it.
Never double bag it.
But what if the groceries come out the bottom? Nomad gets out on the streets and he's trying to figure out what's going on because everyone's acting crazy. And then he sees Madcap. He's like, this guy.
Pretty sure it's that guy.
The epicenter of the madness.
Yeah.
My superhero senses are tingling. Also, my sense of fashion.
Yeah.
Also, I climbed slightly up a lamppost. This is good enough.
Yep.
So, everyone inside the grocery store is like, look at that Nomad. Does he look familiar to anybody?
No.
Yeah. And Nomad says like, "Oh, I got to get far away. They might recognize me." I'm like, "You're wearing a mask. I thought that was your."
They also don't care about you.
No.
You've been there
They
for
just
like
met
an
you.
hour.
They're not gonna recognize you. You're fine.
So
yeah.
Nomad tackles Madcap and knocks him down, and he's like, "Oh my god, I think I broke this guy's spine when I
That's the worst. If Madcap hadn't had a healing factor, Nomad kills people all the time. Then, right? Because
Yeah.
he's so
Yeah.
reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Madcap like
Pokes him in
right
the
in
eye.
the eyes,
Woo, 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 woo.
which is hilarious.
Classic.
So,
Yeah. So then,
then Nomad's like, "I better be careful," and then he throws one of his.
he closes his
discs.
eyes and throws one. He's got
No,
like
he's
his hand over
blinded
his
because
eyes,
he
can't
got-
see.
and he
his
throws
eyes-
a disc while blinded.
Yes, go
yeah.
ahead, keep prattling away so I can get a beat on you.
Yeah,
guessing
so using
from sound?
Yeah, he uses echolocation.
Yeah,
Anyway,
'cause-
he throws a stun
'cause he
disc
didn't-
right into the back of
he
Madcap's
didn't learn
neck.
at all from breaking Madcap's spine because he severely F's up Madcap even worse by
Yes.
hitting him with that disc.
Well, he's like, well, he got back up.
yeah, I guess he's
He got
already
back
figured
up.
out he has a healing factor, so
he's
he doesn't have
lying.
to worry.
He's lying real bad right now. Oh, I think I may have... Oh, no, he's getting up again.
Ooh, I should get... Oh.
Yeah, Madcap snaps his bones back into place.
Gross.
It's gross.
And then Madcap literally says, like, don't worry, you can't hurt me. Go ahead, punch me.
Yep.
I won't feel a thing.
It's fine. I love
And
it.
Nomad's
Good,
like,
that's what I wanted to do.
will do! Breaks jaw.
Yep.
Yep.
He's real strong.
Pops it back into place.
Yep. Are you getting it? He's impervious. The Madcap punches Nomad in the gut. Nomad's down for the count. Madcap picks his gun back up and shoots Nomad, and Nomad goes crazy.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Nomad sucks. He's the worst.
Yeah.
And then he starts like being nuts, and it's you finally get the promise. Unlike most covers, we actually see the cover happen. So the
Yep.
cover has
Yeah, we thought it was like a metaphorical duality of,
Right,
like,
of
Nomad.
Nomad-
Being like, am I Captain America? Am I Nomad?
but no, he looks in a mirror and he literally sees half of his body is Cap. And is it because he's crazy,
Right.
or is this like revealing like a deeper truth to him?
And it's both, actually, because he's realizing, like, oh my god, I'm just following in Captain America's shoes. I'm trying to be Cap,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but also be me.
So it's revealed this truth actually. So this madness gun also reveals like deeper, darker truths in people, I guess.
Yeah. So here's a question: isn't Nomad Captain America?
Captain America was Nomad, but then he gave the identity to Jack
Oh,
Monroe.
so this is a separate guy.
This is a
I was
separate
like,
guy.
is it like he doesn't know that he's Captain
Yeah,
America?
no. Cap was on the
Cap
plane.
is still on the plane.
Yeah, I thought it was like Cap got off the plane, and the reason you see Nomad like sleeping in is because Cap was tired because he didn't get any
Jet
sleep on
lag,
the
yeah.
plane because the guy was
Nope.
talking to him.
Literally,
Okay.
Cap is like, all right, well, for the rest of this book, I'm going to be listening to this jerk tell me about World War II. Like, I don't know about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, but you don't know about my side, Sonny. See,
You also missed the last
we
2
were
years of the war.
entrenched inside the brick lines and
Yeah.
yeah.
things.
So as Madcap is hopping around, you see these shadowy figures recognize that he's a punk do-gooder and speculate about whether they should take him out while he's now, vulnerable. And it's like, no, Blanche, no. There'll be
to the
plenty of time
shadows.
for that later.
That's
So,
right, Rose and Sophia. We Golden Girls will get him later. Thank you for being a friend, by the way.
So Madcap calls it quits. He just gets in a subway and goes away.
Yep, he's like, work day's done.
Look at the time.
Made everyone go crazy. Now I'm leaving.
There, it's quitting time. It's 5 o'clock. Ah, I need me a happy hour drink. That's what I need.
Yep.
So Nomad's just still going crazy, and then it starts wearing off. And he's like, oh my god! I can actually see myself instead of half Cap. I better get back to work! So he gets back to work, and he's like, man, I hope nobody notices that I've been gone for 2 hours. And
You were
the-
just specifically told not to leave.
Yeah.
The first person he runs into is be like, hey, the boss is having a fit.
Yep.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for telling me. Jim, the stock boy, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, Mr. Menzies, I'm sorry. He's like, shove it. I don't care.
Yep.
You worked the morning. Here's your $16. You're fired.
Yeah.
You worked the morning. How many
Yeah.
hours is that? What was your salary?
Yeah, right? $16. He worked for like an hour and
So
a
he
half.
probably worked from, let's say, 10 to 3. That's a good 5 hours. $16. That's $3.20 an hour.
Yeah.
Well, in
What was it,
1985,
1985?
that's not bad.
Yeah. It was probably roughly
close,
minimum
yeah.
wage. I don't know.
I mean, for a bag boy, that's probably great.
I
Yeah.
would assume, yeah.
So,
Oh my God.
yeah, he gets sacked. And by the way, he doesn't try and save his job and be like, look,
No.
I had to go save the world. I'm a superhero.
Well, no, he can't reveal his secret identity.
Get sacked.
He gets sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand the catastrophe we had here? We had customers bagging their own groceries, Jack.
Yep. No, he deservedly loses his job. He doesn't try to save it. He doesn't argue. He
Nope.
knows, like, yeah, I left in the middle of the day. I'm fine. Obviously, I'm fine.
I think he wanted to get fired.
Yeah.
But
All that talk about how, like, oh, I could do this. I was made to be back. He's just lying to himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
but I'm
it's the worst.
$16 richer.
Yes.
That's
So
true.
I'm gonna go visit Carmela and be like, hey, baby.
This cab ride's on
Yeah.
me.
Well, at least I could still ask Al Carbella.
Yeah. So he takes a ride to the hospital. He finds out from Jim where she went. And he's like, hey, Carmela, how are you doing? She's like, good. Honey, this is Jack, the bag boy I was talking about. Jack, this is Raoul, my boyfriend. And Jack immediately just goes, well, it was nice working with you. I have to be running. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Yup. He handles it really badly.
Yeah.
Also,
least he doesn't-
Raoul is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a gigantic red bow tie and like a furry
collared.
jacket.
Oh, so long.
Blew that
bitch.
too.
And by the way, I was referring to you, Raoul.
Yeah. To way to lead me on.
Carmela, if you ever did dump this chump.
Yeah. Carmel, I don't get it. Why were you so nice to me
like-
if you had a boyfriend?
I called you Cracker Jack because you bagged the groceries.
That is not a term of endearment.
I
Yeah,
spoke
we
to
were
you for-
flirting. We had a rapport.
He's like, you called me that because you were trying to find the surprise inside of me. I'm not going to say I read this wrong. I'm going to say you suck. I'm going to leave.
Yeah. He flips over a table and walks out.
He comes back in his Nomad and he punches Raoul in the face.
This is from Captain America.
Cap told me to kick your ass.
He said, get out. You got Jack on the subway, and he's all bummed, and he's like, wow, I lost my girl. I lost my
He
job.
thinks to himself, what a waste I am.
He's
Yes.
not wrong.
It's just what I was thinking, Jack.
Yeah.
Also, like, he feels bad about hitting on a girl that had a boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, you didn't know.
You didn't know,
She didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
but you didn't handle it well either. So
Especially not when you found out. But I'm
Yeah.
guessing at work it's not like, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I should have known. I can always sense when
It
women
is
have
weird.
boyfriends.
Yeah, because he says, I make myself look like a jerk. You don't look like a jerk.
Well, now you did when you left.
Well, when you left,
then.
yes, but not by coming on to someone who has a boyfriend you didn't know.
no, that's true.
You might look stupid.
And
He
he made
does
a-
look stupid,
You do look stupid.
but only when you're dressed as a nomad.
And he even admits, so like, and it made a cop think I was an accomplice to a riot.
Yes.
That's true, yes.
Yeah, you really
Not your
screwed the
finest
pooch.
hour.
Well, when I find Madcap, I'm gonna
Yeah.
clean
I'm gonna
his
take it
clock.
out of his. Yeah.
It's his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went well last time,
And he,
didn't
Right?
it?
and he gets off the train, and Madcap is literally on the train.
Yeah.
So he missed
Like,
he
seeing
missed
Madcap.
that,
so he
too.
doesn't
Next
even
car.
know how much he screwed up.
Yeah. He is the worst.
You are
So-
the worst. Get out of here, Nomad. You suck.
So he goes back to Captain America's apartment,
Yeah. To his favorite place,
Yeah.
the couch.
and he's just like upset and ragging on himself. And then Bernie stops in. He's just like, man, I had a terrible day. You won't believe it. And he's like, shove it. Shove you in your bad day. You suck. I had a worse day. Get out.
She says, stow it lady.
Yeah.
You know her name, dude. Wow.
Nah.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? She's like, all right, I'll be going now. Bye, Jack.
It's not even his apartment.
Yeah. She's like actually really nice to him. She in her head she thinks, gee, what's eating him?
Well-
Guess I'll be going. Bye. She doesn't like yell at him or
Nope.
like take him to task, which she absolutely could.
Yeah. Nope.
Weird.
Anyway, then he's just like, all right, that's it. I'm done, like, being terrible. I'm getting out of Cap's apartment, like,
I bet you're not done being terrible. I,
I
bet
know.
you've only started to be
I
terrible.
would put money on that.
Yeah.
he's like, I'm packing my gear. I'm getting out for good. I'm not
yeah,
going to be
he
squatting
leaves.
here anymore.
Yeah.
He grabs all his stuff,
Or
which
go
is
live
like
on the street.
a duffel bag.
Good idea. Well, yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
walks down the road and he turns back reluctantly and sticks out his thumb.
Yeah.
That's that.
Bruce
bad
Banner's
music's
like, get out of
playing.
here, wham!
That duffel
That's my
bag's just
bit.
filled with Cap stuff. It's not even his
Yeah,
stuff.
he's like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here. She's like, that's not yours. Those aren't your socks.
He would want me to
And
have
underwear. They have Cap written in them in marker.
it. Stow it, lady.
I told you to stow it, didn't I?
Did I not say stow it?
I believe the subject is clear.
I am a man, and I told you to shut up, so you better shut up.
And they also tease a new villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the ones that you saw earlier, the shadowy people who decided not to kill him.
The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls, yeah. They're breaking into Sidewinder's apartment. And when he shows his mug, the Serpent Squad's gonna smash it.
So see,
Who are these people?
I read that as they broke into Cap's apartment
Yeah.
thinking that Nomad was Sidewinder because I don't know who that is.
No.
Well, I mean, we don't know any of them.
And
Sidewinder's
so, like-
a member of the Serpent
And
Society.
so like I assume that Cap's gonna come home and these women are gonna be there.
It's
and
like,
they're-
hey, Jack got me a welcome home present. All right.
Hello, ladies.
I actually thought that too, and then I read the narration more closely. And
Okay.
As Jack Monroe leaves one apartment, a trio of sinister-looking figures prepare to enter
Okay.
another. So that's the only way you know it's a different apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it ends, and like the Madcap story is not resolved.
No.
We have no idea what happens with Madcap.
Sure we do.
Yeah, we do.
Well,
Because
we
have
find out.
Daredevil number 234.
That's right. This is Daredevil number 234 with its horrible text on top of the logo here, because that says "Look out," but you'd never know it in a million years.
What does it say?
Look out, Madcap's
Look out.
on the loose.
Wait, read it.
It's fine. Don't worry, I got it. It's written by Mark Grunwald, and Steve Ditko is the guest breakdown artist, and Klaus Janson is the guest inker. I just want to make sure you understand that real people worked on this.
Sorry, what's a breakdown artist?
A breakdown artist is somebody who like more or less draws the outlines
Yeah.
of the characters. He doesn't do the art. He's like, here's how it's gonna look. Like here's the
But, like-
shapes, stick
like
figures, that kind of thing.
storyboards.
But Jansen came in as the inker, and he actually finished the drawings. Like,
Wow.
so this is like really a joint effort between the two of them. It's
Yeah.
not like the quote unquote tracing of inkers that.
Yeah.
Really, that's not
No,
what
it's
it
a
is.
legitimate, like,
but like this is actually
collaboration.
like all right, here's like kind of what it's gonna look like. Klaus, you got this, right?
Right.
Yeah, I do
I
got
guess.
this.
Exactly. At least I didn't have to think about how to stage it, like the breakdown artist did that
Exactly.
already.
Which is why I think the art in this is pretty good.
It is,
fun.
actually.
So this is Stanley presents Daredevil Mad Casting. Mad
Yeah.
Casting. Aha. There's a garment district area in Manhattan there, and there's like a crime going on. It involves the smuggling of weapons, and Madcap comes across them and seemingly acts like a good guy in a sense.
Right. What?
Yeah.
Where he like busts up what's going on, and like the thugs there are like trying to get him, and he's like, "Woo!" He's doing his Madcap thing.
He's
where
doing his...
He's Madcap.
He's
Everything's
just
crazy.
stumbling through
I'm saying
things.
random things.
He's the
that don't make
mask.
any sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He like jumps out of the way of two guys shooting. They end up shooting one of their friends. They're like, "Oh, you made us shoot him!" And it's like, I mean,
Well,
you fired the gun. I'm just
yeah,
saying,
you
in a
fired
court of
recklessly.
law.
All I
Yeah.
did was move, and if I moved the way, out of the way of a bullet, and I'm just a normal guy, I'd say you're a bad shot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just saying.
And reckless.
Yeah.
Two of the thugs end up getting Madcap. They throw him on the ground. Like they literally take his face and they face plant him into the ground, and then they step on his
Yeah,
hands.
step on his hands. There's his secret weapon.
And like he's like, okay, like go ahead and try and shoot me, whatever. And like he uses his power, but it's not in a gun this time. It comes out of his eyes.
Totally different
Yeah.
character.
What the hell?
It's like the penance stare, but
I'm
it
guessing
makes you
something
insane.
happened between here and here that changed it, because the same guy who created
Yeah.
him
Carried
now
over.
right
his
out.
There was
power.
at least one more issue, so maybe they explain it there of
Yeah.
Captain
He ate
America.
the gun!
maybe has nothing to do with the gun.
I don't think it does.
Maybe
I
the
think
gun
he
was
used it
literally just to shoot rainbows and bubbles, and
Yeah.
it was just his
I think
eyes.
it absolutely was just a bubble gun.
Like
I
he's
think
just
he
like,
used it.
"Ah,
Yeah.
it's Madcap. What? So
I
he
think they just changed the character. They're just like, oh no, it comes with him.
Now he's a good guy.
no.
And also he's a good guy, kind of.
He's not a good guy.
No.
Well, he stops crime for
Yeah,
no
he-
reason. He has no interest in
No, that's
stopping
just it.
crime in this book.
No.
He didn't try and stop the crime.
No, he's just
Well,
he
he's
came
bumbling.
upon it.
He's
He
just
beats
interrupting
upon
it.
criminals.
Well, because
yeah.
they did ask them, they're like,
That's
how did you
true.
find us? They assume he's a superhero, and
Yeah.
he's just like, I was just walking along. They're like, this guy just stumbled upon us? Are we
Yeah.
that bad at what
Yeah.
we do? Like,
Yeah,
they
the
have like
answer
an
is yes.
existential crisis.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I guess that is what happened.
we
I
gotta
thought
stop
we were in
being
a Daredevil
criminals.
book.
As like they're being overwhelmed by his Madcap powers, they end up like they're overwhelmed.
They are overwhelmed.
They end up shooting their guns, and one of them hits him like right in the head, and naturally he's fine. They start acting like crazy people, which is like in these books, like crazy people are zany people who apparently run around all the time and like
Say things like ooga booga.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
or make monkey noises.
yeah.
Or
So like, let's
whatever.
be honest, Madcap is not a great example for mental health.
No.
No.
I would say he makes
But-
it less crazy and more zany.
He is a fantastic advocate for anyone who wants to join the circus, because if you get hit by his powers, you can stand on your hands.
Yeah.
You can juggle things.
True, yeah, you get
Exactly.
the ability
Give
to...
him
Crazy stuff.
powers.
Yeah.
While this is going on, Dollar Bill shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the one from DC,
No.
from Watchmen.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, this is Dollar Bill, who's like desperately trying to be the next Geraldo Rivera, but
Yes.
like on cable TV. He has his
Yeah.
own show, and like he's a crew of one basically.
himself.
He films in his apartment.
Yeah.
I love that.
And he's like, "Oh man, you're one of them heroes. That's awesome. That's crazy cool. Whatever. Why don't you let me have the exclusive scoop on your story, basically."
Yeah.
We're coming back to Dollar Bill.
Yeah, don't-
Meanwhile,
that was in the book.
Daredevil's actually in this book, and he's like jumping
What?
around the city. And like we get
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean Daredevil's in this book?
we get a little like, "Hey, don't forget who Daredevil is."
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give you a rundown about who Daredevil
I'm
is.
guessing you're here for Madcap.
Yeah,
so just in
I'm
case,
just a Madcap fan.
Yeah,
I don't know
Yeah,
anything
like,
about Daredevil.
This is who Daredevil is, and
Yeah.
Daredevil's like, cool, like I'm the guy who takes big risks, like hearing gunshots and like going to find out what's going on. I'm late to the party because I apparently suck.
Yep.
I'm real slow because I all I
just a
can do
guy.
is
I'm
run.
blind, as you
Yeah.
see.
Well, I have to wait for something to happen, and it's got to be far away.
He hears it 30 blocks away.
Yeah.
And it takes him 10 minutes to get there. I feel like you should be able to go 30 blocks in less than 10 minutes if you are...
Not if you're in New York.
Well, if you're running
Wait.
along rooftops, maybe.
Yeah, which he is.
Right.
Maybe they're long blocks.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a lot of
there
blocks.
aren't 30 long blocks.
Maybe he's exaggerating.
Well, he's got to go 30 blocks, but
We had
like
to go
diagonally.
30 that way, and then 30, and then we're
Oh,
like
if you
10 or
have to
15.
go diagonal.
And that
Nice.
coffee wasn't going to drink itself.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Also, I did have to stop and like pray a couple of times.
Naturally. When he gets to the scene, he finds all the goons like acting nuts. He's just like, okay, cool. Hey, what's going on? They're totally useless. He's like, neat, I won't find out anything. And then the cops show up and he's like, haha, I better hide. And so he basically just slips into the shadows and lets the cops figure
Explain
everything
it.
out for him. They're like, oh man, this reminds me of that time there was that crazy epidemic on Broadway a couple months ago. That.
Yeah.
It's referring
Literally
to
this.
That was
They're
the moment when I stopped
referring-
reading that book, because I started there, and I went over and read this one. I'm like, oh, geez, I guess I gotta read the...
You better read these in order, man. I
Yeah.
read them this way.
Yeah, me too.
So that kind of worked out for me. And they mentioned the name Madcap and the fact that that guy was put away in Bellevue.
Yes.
So that's how we find out what happens to Madcap.
Yeah, they
Look,
catch him
it didn't happen in Hell's Kitchen, so Daredevil had no idea.
Exactly. He's just like, I don't care. It's not my problem. So like, Daredevil's like, all right, well, those guys are going to be too busy with those gunmen. I better go take on this case. I'll go to Bellevue.
Yep.
We stop in to meet the Rose, which Ethan and I are now familiar with thanks to a back issues episode, which may or may not have come out at this point in time. If it has.
But that was a cool moment where it's like, oh, I know who this
I know
is!
who this dude is!
Otherwise, I'd be like, why?
Who the
Yeah,
hell
no.
is this?
That's a weird mask.
Yep.
A couple of his guys show up and they're like, hey, the gun shipment got messed up. Some costume jackass in yellow showed up, and he's just like, well, who's that? I mean, I know who Daredevil is, and Spider-Man is. Who could be in yellow? You better find out who that is. $5,000
was it
to the
Daredevil?
person.
Yeah,
When
Daredevil
he
with
had
his
his
old
yellow
costume.
costume?
$5,000 to the guy who brings me him.
It's a bounty on his head.
And
He's
then-
had a hit on...
There's also like another element to that, which is not mentioned there, where it's like, if you call up with a hot tip, you get $100.
Yeah,
Yes.
C-note.
That comes up later on a lot, as though I should have known about it earlier.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing between like the people who are going to kill them and the informants. He's like, look, I put out the $5,000, but it's up to you to get your own information.
Right, so like, okay, I'll give you $100 because I'm going to get the $5,000.
Right.
I
Right.
don't know.
Maybe. That's a very intricate system.
I'm subcontracting out to informants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
all right.
Which I'll pay out of the $5,000 when I inevitably get it.
Naturally.
Because it's coming. So then we go to Bellevue, where Daredevil shows up. In his Daredevil
That's
costume.
Daredevil! Why don't you just change it to Matt Murdock?
No.
Hello, I am here at a
They're
crazy...
immediately like, what?
Get out of here.
What are you doing here?
The nurse immediately rings the panic button,
No.
It's like, ow.
and he hears it. He knows what's going on. A couple dudes show up. He's like, "That's Daredevil. Get him!" And he's
because
like,
you belong here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he just leaves.
Yeah, he just walks out the front door. He's
They
like,
don't
fine.
stop him.
No,
They
I mean,
just
here I'll
leave.
leave.
They don't want to get the crap beat out of
Now, to
him.
be fair, yeah, they probably know, like, look, let's
Yeah.
intimidate him, but if he comes after us, we are dead.
Just run.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
punch, our nose is broken, and
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem.
Because
so.
I guess they were escorting him to leave, but they act
Yeah.
like they're going to put him away because they're at Bellevue, known
Yeah.
for their,
Yeah,
mental.
well, I'll just escort you out of the building, and they just take him into a cell.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the exit. It's the
Okay, I
special
can use my
exit for
echolocation.
superheroes.
I know that this is
Wait,
a
you're
dead-end
blind?
room.
What? Oh yeah, the people don't know he's blind.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
So then the like Daredevil finds out all of his information. He just stands close
just
by
waits outside
and
the door.
listens in on what's going on.
Yep, like a
finds
creep.
out
They're
that
like awkwardly like, he's still there.
yeah.
I can see him in the window. He's still standing.
Why is he still anyway?
He thinks this is a wall. It's a glass window.
Yeah.
Anyway, the nurse is like, he asked about Madcap. They're like, oh, you didn't tell him that like he escaped, did you? She's like, no, of course not. He's not the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to tell him anything.
No.
So then like
I'm not an idiot at my job.
God.
right. So then like Daredevil's like, okay, cool. I got a
think I
name
told him? Go
and I know he's free, and that's it.
That's all I know.
Okay.
Off into the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here I go.
I appreciate that because he's like, I know that someone broke out of here named Madcap, but I don't actually know it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I still have to put that together. I'm like, hey, way to show some restraint in your investigation.
Yeah,
and
you
not
don't just
jump
immediately
to
know everything.
unjustified conclusions.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we cut to Dollar Bill's like
Apartment?
loft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like got a little like sound studio
Like Kramer.
sound stage.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll be right
Like,
back.
wait a minute. Do you actually work for cable anything?
No,
Or do
he's-
you just say
he
that?
has
No.
like a cable TV on at 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
got like
morning.
Public
cable
access.
access, not
Yeah.
actual.
So Dollar Bill's trying to sell this whole Madcap thing. He's like, I got the hot scoop on the newest superhero. It's gonna be awesome, Madcap. He's like, what's your whole deal? And he's like, oh, well, my family died and all this crap, like in a bus accident, and I somehow got these crazy powers. And they're like what? And he's just like, well, I can't feel anything, and I can't be hurt or killed.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me show you. And he runs off like screen, and Dollar Bill's like, cool, this is not how interviews go.
No.
He returns with a knife. He proceeds to just kind of plunge it into his stomach. He's like, look. And Dollar Bill's like, oh!
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
Don't try this at home,
Yeah.
folks.
And he pops it out and is just like, oh, you having a crazy healing factor. Hey, I wasn't expecting that.
So it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. Madcap uses his power on him, which makes him go like loony and
Yep.
like he's jumping around and doing whatever. And Daredevil, meanwhile, is investigating Madcap. So he goes to a reporter who gives him a little more information about Madcap. And he ends up telling him about the whole Nomad thing, which
Yeah.
is tying it into that book.
They confirm that Nomad actually put him in Bellevue.
Yes,
which
so
is
he
like,
did it.
Oh,
Nomad
so we
did
don't
it.
we didn't see it, but somehow Nomad did something effective.
Right, right.
Hard to believe, but according to this book, it happened.
Right.
Yeah, but he ain't getting that bag boy job back.
No, that's over. Daredevil then finds an informant who's just doesn't tell him much of anything
No.
except that people are looking for Madcap. So
Yes.
then Daredevil's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll listen for that.
Yeah.
The next
it's an excuse
day,
to show how brutal and like hardcore Daredevil is.
yeah, well, he has to work really hard for everything he does.
Yes.
Madcap is out during the daytime with Dollar Bill, who's like under his thrall or not. It's really
I don't
difficult
think
to
so.
tell.
I
He's
think he's
recovered
just-
from the madness.
Yeah, I think he's in. I think he's just
Yeah.
like got a nose.
This
for
is my.
news.
This
I
is
can't
my.
cross this guy.
This is
Yeah.
my like path to legitimacy. Is like breaking the story
Right.
on Madcap.
Well, it's just
Yeah.
that like later on, like we see him like filming a fire hydrant, asking like, "Again, what do you think about this craziness, sir?"
Right,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
that is kinda still
I can't
loony.
really
Yeah.
tell how
good
enthralled he is.
Yeah.
But basically, Dollar Bill's doing a docudrama on him, like the day in the life of a superhero, and like Madcap's playing it up naturally, and like a dude sees him, he's like, "Oh, dude, it's the guy in yellow. I'm gonna call up my guy," and he's like, "Don't forget my C note." Dude show up in a taxi cab and run over Madcap.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Madcap's like, "Ta-da!"
Look, Ma, I'm roadkill.
That was not an assassin. That was just a New York cab.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like,
let's just be careful out there,
No,
people.
that costume sucks.
Just, look, I got a fare here, people.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm away.
You're right in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
That's jaywalking, and I have every right to run you over.
By the way, this informant's really like dedicated.
Yes.
Because he's already gotten his money. He showed
Yep.
him where he is. He calls them back. I don't know how,
Right.
because it's not like they have a phone, like a cell phone on them.
No.
But he calls him and he's like, "You missed. It didn't work. Like you hit him and he's totally fine." Meanwhile, Daredevil's listening to all this. He's like, "Oh, that sounds like what I'm looking to investigate." So like other dudes show up, and they're like, "Okay, no mistakes this time," and they start attempting to like kick the ass of Madcap. Daredevil shows up, being like, "I guess I'll save him." Madcap uses his powers on the goons. He attempts to use it on Daredevil. Daredevil's like, "Oh, he's trying to use his powers on me," which I guess are not sight-based, or they are. We won't find out in this. Because instead of finding out, Daredevil jumps on a car and lets the car drive away for a block or so before he runs.
He runs away.
There.
No,
Oh, he's
he-
gonna use the power on me.
He rides away, and then
rides
he
away,
runs back.
And he runs back, which is
There.
a smart move.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. What I missed?
Note, Nomad failed to escape from the thrall
Yeah.
of
Madcap.
because Nomad sucks.
Yes.
Whereas Daredevil is smart and good.
Yeah,
Right.
he's a good guy.
Is good
Yeah,
at what
he's a
he
good
does.
guy.
He is an effective hero.
And a coward.
So Madcap is then like grabbed by two other dudes he didn't see coming. They shove him in the back of a car, and Daredevil is left with Dollar
goons.
Bill and the other goons who are like out of their minds. Daredevil attempts to like threaten them with like, "Where you tell me where they're going?" Ah! Madcap is taken in like via car to an undisclosed location, where he runs into a guy who kind of looks like Tony Stark but isn't, and they're like, "Okay, listen, here's the thing. You suck, and the gist of it is we're gonna kill you because you suck."
Yeah.
Yep.
So they basically bring in Max the Axe, and they're like, "I get that, like, you know, we're gonna kill you, but like, if we discharge our weapons, people will hear it."
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Now you're concerned about this?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so break
So-
out the axe,
Yeah.
the forest lumberjack axe.
We only
Yep.
shot someone when it was like a warehouse or the docks or whatever
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was.
This is our place,
also,
I
yeah.
guess, or not. I don't know.
they were
It's
Hey,
just-
my grandma lives upstairs.
They were
man.
shooting
I'm
in
not giving her a heart
self-defense.
attack.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if someone burst in and attacked them, they would use their guns then. But
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have him under control. They don't need to use
Yeah,
firearms.
so they tether him to like a pole in the building, and the rest of them leave Max to his work because they don't want to see the gruesomeness.
Which,
Daredevil,
by the way, is never the answer.
no, right? You gotta stick. You gotta stick around. You gotta see this through.
Yes.
Because otherwise,
No, I'll just string him
assume-
up over sharks and lower him in slowly. I'll close the doors. I'll assume he's dead.
exactly.
Right.
Well, they at least left him with a guy.
Yes.
At least there is someone in there.
Daredevil finds the garage where they are. He springs into action while Daredevil's fighting. and like leaping out of the way of bullets, which inevitably shoot gasoline canisters as these people are running away, and Daredevil fails to knock everybody out. He hears this sound that he's never heard before, like a bat striking mud.
Yes.
He describes it as, and that's the sound of
The axe.
hitting Madcap. And I'm like,
That's gross.
cool and gross. Yes,
Yep.
but I think that's cool.
It's a
It
cool
is cool.
description
Wow.
of the sound.
What
Yeah.
is that? I've never heard that. That's
that
a
is-
person being dismembered by
That is
an axe.
dark.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll find out what that is.
Yeah, and so like
Oh.
he leaps into the room where Max the Axe is. He hits him with one of his batons, knocking Max out. He knows the axe is covered in blood. Oh, he also smells it. He
Yes.
can
Smells
smell the
blood.
blood.
Yep.
He knows the axe is covered in blood, and he knows what the sound was
Right.
immediately. And he sees like Madcap in the corner, and he's just like, okay, cool. This is bad.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they just start throwing Molotovs into the room with the gasoline. And Daredevil's like, haha! And he catches the first one. He's like, awesome. What I failed to do was catch the second one.
Yep.
And that,
No, I didn't stop anything.
so, well, he stopped the one. I mean,
Yeah,
like, I
but
guess he
it's
had.
gonna
What
be
did he
just
do
as
with
on
it?
fire.
Like, he had to like drop it or throw it back. Like,
Yeah, throw it back
This
and
is
grab
what
the
I love.
second one.
I love the idea that the guys were like, throw a Molotov cocktail. Throw 2.
Yeah.
He can't catch two at the same time.
Which is right.
Which is
Right.
true.
I mean,
yeah.
it worked.
It does work.
So he goes to move quickly. He's like, I still hear a heartbeat out of Madcap.
Yeah.
And then he pulls off, or he sits him up, and Madcap's like, hey,
I can't die.
he's totally cool. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. This is great. He's just like, I can't feel it either, so that's neat too.
Yeah,
like,
you don't have to feel bad.
It's pretty hot in here. You must feel really comfortable because you're
the devil.
You're a devil,
Get
ha
it?
ha. And like, Daredevil's like, all right, I have to get you out of here. And he's like, oh, but like, I'll be okay. Like, I can't burn to death. It'll be fine. But Max over there,
Yeah, you should get him.
he's not gonna make it.
Right.
You can't save both
And
of us.
Daredevil's like, I can't save both of them. I can't carry both of them because Max is really big. So he's like, I know he's not lying because his heartbeat doesn't
At least
change.
he thinks
Yes.
he's not lying.
And so he's like, okay, I'm gonna save Max. And so
Yeah.
he grabs Max, and like Madcap just like is engulfed in flames and sings about him burning to death, basically. Daredevil attempts to go back in.
chilling.
It's like
Yeah.
the doorway is like just a flaming hellfire or whatever. And like he's like, I can't go in there. And he hears Madcap's like final like song as the building like burns down, essentially.
Yeah.
It takes the police or the fire department hours to put out the blaze. They recover his body. It's burned beyond recognition. There's no heartbeat. And Daredevil's like,
I let this man die.
okay, well, he could have saved himself, and he didn't, I guess. And
So that's on him, God.
it's
Okay?
I'm just
That's on
saying
him.
it's not my fault. I will inevitably, like, he did lead me to finding that gun smuggling ring, so I will put them behind bars. I mean,
Yeah.
like, this is kind of a
Not a
win
total
for
loss.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Look, it's all about checks and balances
Exactly.
in terms of Catholicism.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ledger is balanced.
Yeah.
Like, when I go to confession, I'm going to have to be able to tell them both things, both
Yeah.
sides here, so,
Only have 2 Hail Marys.
Yeah.
But it's all at the end of the day, we go back to Dollar Bill, who's completing his docudrama, where he's just like, and Madcap's like, mayhem came to an end when he burned to death in a blaze down in the garage or whatever, and like then he hears a knock at the door, and he opens the door, and it's Madcap.
He's like, you'll never be rid of me, Dollar Bill. Never.
I can't die, and now we're having fun, haha! And then the book just ends,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yes, it ends on a really creepy, dour note where Dollar Bill's like, I'll never be rid of this man.
yeah.
Like, curse
Yep.
my hubris. Why have I, entered into this pact with
Yep.
this lunatic?
Yep.
Each story gets progressively darker.
Does
I think
it?
it's funny. Well, I think so, because Power Pack number 34, which is written by Howard Mackey, with pencils by Larry Alexander and Louis Williams.
This is like really toned down for Howard Mackey too.
Yes, this is coherent.
Yes.
So
It is.
Power Pack in and of itself is kind of like a bear trap of a concept, because it's billed as a team of children who are superheroes. But I've read Power Packs. It's not like I don't know who this is. I'm just explaining it for the benefit of people who have no idea what Power
Yeah,
Pack is.
oh,
Which is
which
fair
was me
because
before I read
there
this
are
book.
legions.
Same here.
So Power Pack is just it's a family. It's a group of kids who have superpowers. So Power Pack is in and of itself like kind of a fun, silly premise, but it exists within the Marvel universe. So the concept of 3 prepubescent children with superpowers is implicitly horrifying. Because they put themselves in the exact same way of harm that Daredevil, Spider-Man, and the Avengers put themselves in front of. So like,
And they
that's-
don't recognize it.
They don't, but they also are in the same front line. So it's scary implicitly, but the book is typically done with an air of humor and lightheartedness.
Yeah.
But that whole conceit is complicated.
It's a weird throwback.
It is. So
it's almost like a Disney show.
it is.
Yeah.
And you're just like, don't think about that whole thing.
Right.
Where like they're literally going to fight potentially rapists and monsters.
Yeah. No, it's like Superboy and his best bud.
Like literally, one of my old issues of Power Pack is the team has to deal with like actual like thugs that break a B&E, like adult men break into their home. So it's like that's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had powers, it probably wouldn't be.
No, but they treat it like Home Alone, but
No.
if Kevin McAllister had superpowers.
That's like-
But like they.
Home Alone is scary too,
No, but
though.
they depict it as scary in the comic. So I was like, who am I? Who is this for?
I was gonna say it might be
Yes.
scarier because some of these kids are going to grow up not knowing fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like Legolas when Boromir dies. They've never
you're like,
seen
what?
death. Like what is happening?
What's happening?
Well, what's
Why are you
really
sad?
The even more
Bring
complicated thing
back
is,
the Dower one. He was fun.
is when they make friends with other super teams. Like they're friends with the Fantastic Four. Katie, the youngest, is friends with Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
Then the youngest and only member of the Junior Fantastic Four.
Isn't he part of the Power Pack?
Franklin, I think he's like an honorary member of the Power Pack.
Because he's part of the picture here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But
they
like,
it's probably
but
the
he's-
same thing in every book, right? They find a way to get him there.
Exactly. Usually he's in his dream state.
No,
He tags along.
is this Franklin Richards the like?
He can do anything. But like, this is during the 80s, and if you remember our episode back issues where we did Fantastic Four versus X-Men, Franklin Richards has like this weird ability where he like falls asleep and then astral projects, but he still has to physically get to wherever he's going if he wants to catch up with his astral projection. So like, he's doing that in this
Well, that's
book.
how astral projection works.
Yes. No, it's true. So it's
Accidentally.
it's true astral projection, but he can't just rewrite reality.
Right.
Though
He
he
has-
also does that too sometimes. So, but in this, he's
Depends on who's writing it.
He's a little more limited.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so he is a member of the Power Pack, but like he's not a member of the family.
Right.
Anyway, the whole premise of the story is that Katie's bored, and she needs someone to play with, and her siblings understandably don't want to hang out with her. So she hangs out. She calls up Franklin, and she's like, "Let's hang out," because Franklin's equally bored, and no one wants to hang out with him either.
He calls her up by astral projecting.
Well, he does, yeah.
Yeah.
and she just gives
He's like,
up.
I wonder what
She
Katie's
gives up.
up
Well,
to.
she gets yelled at for like pulling the chair out from under one of her siblings, and so
And like flying around the room and almost breaking the lamp.
Yeah.
And her siblings are like, "You're lucky I got to use my powers before anything happened."
Yeah. I
So-
could have
Being
been hurt.
irresponsible.
so Katie's having a rough day.
She's like a Bernstein or Berenstein.
This is totally a
Bears.
Berenstein Bear situation.
Depending
Yes, it
on
is.
which universe you're from.
Well, every issue, exactly. Well, every issue of the Power Pack is supposed to have a self-contained lesson about like sharing or something.
Right.
So like,
So in that respect, it is definitely for children.
absolutely.
In that
And I
respect.
think that the trick and the hook for Power Pack is it's for everybody, but your kids can read it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Like they'll
'Cause
get something
any
out
of
of
the
it.
any of the darker stuff will go over their heads, and they can like grow into Power Pack.
Yeah.
And hopefully, because Power Pack always teams up with other superheroes, there'll be a gateway to other comics that are more appropriate for their age range. Anyway, Franklin is understandably rejected by his father because his father's a bad man. Johnny doesn't want to burn him, so he leaves. The Thing is sick.
Johnny's just going out the window.
Yeah, and he's
For
like, yeah.
he's about to flame on. It's like, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Booty call.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Chicks.
He's
Like,
meeting
this
up with
is-
Carmela.
Right.
I guess. This is just how I leave the building.
Mm-hmm.
I just flame on when I want to go somewhere.
Yeah. So Franklin basically is like, okay, no one wants to hang out with me. I'll call up Katie from the Power Pack. So he does via astral projection. And then they astral project watch television together. And what they wind up watching is one of Dollar Bill's programs, the Madcap Mystery Hour, where Madcap just annoys people and turns them into lunatics.
Which was hinted at in this book, where he's like, your show is boring. Let's call it the Madcap Mystery Hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a total sequel to that.
Keeps freaking building on
Yes.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For no reason.
they're like, he's fun, and he doesn't seem to have any like connections to people, so let's go bother him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll hang out with us. Because I think the whole thing is they're pursuing an adventure. They want to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, you're 9.
Yeah. Just
And you
stay
live
inside
in New
and
York.
be quiet.
You can't.
Yeah.
Watch a
They're
movie.
told to like sit down and be quiet like multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like they're children. They're not going
They're
to.
not going
They
to.
can't.
They
Well, like,
can't.
you need
You're
to
terrible
because
parents.
I am a bad parent. I'm not going to like watch you. I
Right.
just need you to trust me on this one. Just stay in that room.
Okay, but Reed could easily build a nanny to watch Franklin.
Yes. Well, he has Herbie the
Easily.
robot, but the robot is
Herbie's down for maintenance.
Herbie's down for maintenance. So Franklin projects to Madcap, who's in his dressing room, and he's like, so do you know Madcap? He says, do I know Madcap? I am Madcap. And he puts on his mask costume. And Franklin's like, me and my friend Katie are bored. Let's hang out. And Madcap, because he's an irresponsible, horrible monster of an adult, is like, well, you're 9. I'm in.
Sounds good.
Oh, an adventure, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing bad could come from this adult man taking these 2 children away from their homes and out into the world.
To be fair, he didn't take them from their homes.
No, they left
They
their
took
homes.
themselves from their homes.
He just talks to them and tells them where to meet him.
Well, so Franklin brokers the deal of adventure with Madcap.
What I would love, though.
He does, because he works it out, and then he goes back to Katie, and he's like, Katie,
Okay, here's what we're
in.
gonna do.
He's in. Come get me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love it if Madcap was like, okay, you're children and I don't know you. Even this is too much
No,
for me.
because Madcap
No,
has
he's
to be
like,
more
nothing
extreme.
matters.
Madcap's more extreme than the Mask,
Life is a
Deadpool,
joke.
everyone.
Yeah.
My family was murdered in a truck accident, which doused me in chemicals and made me this.
Time to kill more kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
That's his entire thing.
yeah. So Franklin and Katie, and I think this is supposed to be a stranger danger issue. Because Franklin and Katie see a colorful character on television, and they think he's pure of heart.
It's not. It's a responsibility
Well,
issue.
it is, but it's also like
yeah.
because we're supposed to be because the image we follow this with is horrifying. Because Katie and Franklin are like, let's go. This adult we saw on television is colorfully he's colorfully dressed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He seems pure and fun. Meanwhile, Madcap is snipping his own fingers off with
Well, yeah,
scissors.
but at least he does it before they get there. Like, that's the point. He's
does.
like, he's
But
getting
But
out of
this
its
is
system.
showing you what they're about to get into.
Yeah, this is the world that he's in, and they're about to go through the
But
doorway.
it never gets as extreme as that.
No, but
No,
that's,
it doesn't.
that hints at
But that's
the
who
worst
he
of it.
is.
I assumed
Yeah.
that was and don't worry, Madcap's still Madcap. You Madcap fans.
No, that is like Spawn shit.
I guess, but I still think it's more about responsibility.
Today, it's his fingers.
Agreed.
Is what I'm saying.
Right.
And
So-
so it's because like they keep seeing like all the fun that they wanted to have, and they're realizing like, wait, this could have repercussions on other people.
Well, yeah, exactly. So they team up with Madcap. Madcap's like, let's go! And the kids are like, yay! And immediately, like, he's at an 11 and they're at like a 7 as far as this adventure goes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, tone it down. Because we don't know any adults who are like you.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the themes of all these books is that Madcap needs to demonstrate that he can't die. And that seems to be the thing that entertains him the most. So he's like, hey, I've got an idea. I'll jump into the back of a garbage truck and crush myself.
Oh no, he uses imagination. He's like, we're taming a lion.
Right.
And this is the lion. I'll put my head in the lion's mouth. Whoa!
Yeah.
He's actually really good at pretending with children.
Yeah, this is
Like
like...
playing
Not
games
even
with
just
them.
with children. He's great at pretending.
Well, yeah.
Period.
But he
Every
works
book.
the most with
Madcap
children.
is almost a horror movie villain
Yes.
in which it's like he's an imaginary character who's really good at imagining things and then ends up killing the kids
Right,
and
yeah.
or the parents.
Well, he's like, well, like, it's cute. Okay, we're playing pretend, but we're playing it with a dangerous object, and he's like showing them that it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like horrifying and scary
He
for
would
me.
make a great no sleep character.
Absolutely. This whole adventure he goes on, because he does the same thing. It reminds me of It's a Beautiful Life. You know, that's that Italian movie about like the dad and the son in the concentration camp, and he's trying to teach his kid that it's not a concentration camp and it's all fun and games, and he's a clown, and that like it's all an act to try and like shelter his son from the horrors of being in the Holocaust. You guys remember that movie?
No.
I know what
Remember
you're
it?
talking
Yes,
Won
about.
multiple Oscars.
No,
Oh,
I know
I
what
get
you're-
it.
I
Go
just.
ahead.
That's what it looks
I'm
like
not-
to me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And so they go on multiple adventures, and like each time that Madcap demonstrates like an expression of imagination and part of the adventure that they're going on, he does something that's irresponsible and inappropriate, and the children are like immediately.
Okay, I lied. That is pretty horrific. However, that is like an example of an accident.
Yes. Yeah, like.
So like.
But there's also no consequences for those accidents. But Madcap, he's playing with a stick. He falls on the stick. It goes through his eye, through the back of his head.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Good thing I'm invulnerable, or this would hurt."
Yep. And the kids are like, oh,
The
wow,
kids
mom
literally
was right.
said, "Oh,
Yes.
we're playing with sticks. We better be careful.
Yes.
We could poke our eyes
He's
out."
like, "Yeah, you can." Oh, I just did. And they're like,
He's like a cautionary tale. I'm like, are
Yeah.
you doing this on purpose?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't tell.
I don't think he is.
off camera, you likened him to like basically just a more extreme cat in the
Yeah,
hat.
he's the cat in the
Yeah.
hat. He's just coming in and causing mayhem.
Right, but like, and
And
maybe
they're like,
there's like
oh,
a secret
geez.
lesson.
Yeah, like I thought this was gonna be fun, and this is like really upsetting and disturbing.
Maybe it's like he's like, no, like I'll give adults a hard time, but I'm gonna teach these kids a lesson. They'll never forget.
Yeah, like don't ever come up to a stranger like me.
All right,
again.
kids, help Madcap find his eyeball.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, So he uses his thrall on a bunch of people. They dance and cavort around. One of them wanders into the street. The kid's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! And like Katie pushes one of these bystanders out of the way of a moving vehicle. She's like, this is really getting off the rails.
Yeah, they've started to figure it out. Like,
Okay, Franklin.
this is not okay.
We might have lost control of the situation.
Exactly. Katie literally says, this isn't funny anymore.
Yep. No, it's not.
What are you talking about? Of course this is funny. This is what you want. You wanted an adventure. You're going to get an adventure.
Yeah, it's like it.
Yeah. This is actually the most horrifying he's ever been, because in his previous issues where people went
He's
crazy,
encountering adults.
nobody was hurting themselves.
No.
Now people are wandering in front of cars. This lady jumps out of a window. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Now it's getting...
Yeah.
Now, maybe people died in these issues, but you didn't see anyone like in mortal
Right.
danger
No.
from his causing them to go crazy. So it makes him, to me, like way more sinister. Because I'm like, oh, people are like dying when he uses this on them, or they could be.
So meanwhile, because it's New York...
Well, look at Carmella.
Yeah, she got cut.
She got hurt. She went to the hospital.
The hospital.
For a cut.
She was getting out of work.
It was a
is
huge
what she
bandage.
was
That was
doing.
a pretty deep
She's
cut.
like,
She
glass.
hit one of those essential
It went
things.
by her. She's like, oh, the blood. Oh, don't look at it.
She had like a red
go.
marker there. She's
Yeah.
like,
Workman's comp, I think.
They
So-
would have shown blood, but they can't show blood.
No. So anyway, because we're living in the New York City Marvel universe, there is a like bank robbery going on, and there's a police situation already in play. And Madcap's like, "Let's go in," and Katie and Franklin are like, "Let's leave this to the police. There's guns and adults going on." I was like, "Forget it!" So he jumps in. He's like, "Hey, coppers, let's do this," and they're like, no."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, fine." So then he turns the cop into an idiot and makes them sing and dance.
Yep.
And so the kids are like, we need to stop Madcap before this gets any worse.
Yep.
Madcap, like, basically just draws the fire of the bank robbers, and then, like, the kids move Madcap out of the way of the line of fire because, well, Katie moves Madcap while Franklin astral projects. And by the way, he has to fall asleep every time he does it, so, like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
does he have like narcolepsy?
Yeah,
like,
how does he do
punches
that?
himself in the head real quick.
I don't know. So,
He's like, all right, Katie, just hold my nose and cover my mouth until
Right.
I go to sleep.
Just grab a mallet. 1 lump or 2.
yes, no. Fucking Franklin Richards has severe brain damage. So Katie moves Madcap out of the way so he doesn't screw up the situation while Franklin astral projects in the bank. And he's like, "Hey, you guys, knock it off." And they're like, "A child, let's shoot the child."
He puts a really shitty halo on his head. They're like, an angel.
Right.
What?
Yeah,
right.
because he's like mist and everything.
Yeah.
You can see where it attaches to my head.
Yeah. Nope. So anyway, Franklin distracts the robbers so the police can actually go through the door and apprehend them, which they do.
They do fire on him.
Oh,
on
they
his
do.
astral projection.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it was a mistake.
Oh, they're child murder.
Oh my God, an angel! Kill it!
Yeah, well, one of them's like, "It's really an angel." God will get mad. The other one's like, "Just shoot him."
Go get back.
So
It's
then,
too late for us anyway.
yeah. So Franklin, Katie, and Madcap all reconvene, and they're like, "You're bad news."
Yeah,
And
you
he's
gotta
like,
stop, man.
"I am. Bye." And then they're like, "We should go home." And then they do.
We are
The
going
book
to
stops.
be
And
in
they learn a
trouble.
lesson about like being responsible.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
whole thing is about responsibility, as you
Yes,
said.
because
Yeah.
People
Franklin
will be in
Richards
trouble. and
didn't
It's better to
know-
be in trouble than deal with that guy.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Because that's a dangerous man.
Franklin Richards, no less than 2 or 3 times, says, "What's responsibility?"
What's
Like,
responsible?
I don't know what
he
that
can't
word
say
means.
whole. He doesn't say responsible. He
Yeah,
says
Clearly-
responsible.
Clearly, the Fantastic Four don't allow him to hang out with Peter Parker.
No, he
Ever.
does.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
But
It
no,
seems
no,
like he
Peter
didn't learn
Parker.
anything.
Peter,
No,
yeah, oh,
they're
what's
keeping Peter
responsible?
Parker away
Yeah.
from Franklin.
No, actually, Spider-Man is Franklin Richards' favorite superhero.
so he should know everything about responsibility.
No, but they won't
Spider-Man
let him
does.
hang out
He-
because he's just like, look, if you learn responsibility from Peter Parker, you will go crazy.
Yeah, you will be neurotic as hell.
We're not letting that happen,
Yeah,
Franklin.
he just likes that Peter Parker like fights the Rhino and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
well,
likes
he has
that
a great
aspect of
costume and he's
Spider-Man.
fun. And he's funny. He likes that he's funny.
Yeah.
So, Madcap, I know, is supposed to be... Oh, you were going to say something. Good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say that, like, Spider-Man does appear in a couple of issues of Power Pack, and he's usually, like, it's complicated because he teaches them how to be superheroes and, like, helps them out, but he also, like, makes sure they have, like, adults around them, and, like...
Don't be superheroes without adults.
He knows he can't stop them from being superheroes, but he also, like, tries his best because he knows he's dealing with children to, like, keep them on the...
Does their mom know?
No,
Yeah.
it's like a secret, isn't it? I felt like
No.
their older
The
sister
power
or
pack?
something. Yeah.
No, the mom does not know.
Yeah, the mom doesn't.
They
know.
were like,
She
mom
can't
will
use her
find us
powers
using our
around
powers.
them.
Yeah.
But then I thought she did use them around her.
No, that's another. It was another like larger person.
That's her older sister.
Oh,
The older sister was on the couch who
Yeah.
clouded.
Well, there was her, but then she sees the mom. But I guess the mom doesn't see her use her powers.
Yeah,
She
she just hears
about her
it.
pull the chair away.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that. It
No,
was
she reprimands her
She-
for just being a prankster.
She's
Yeah.
painting book covers.
Yep.
And drinking wine.
Because it's 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah, why not? And she has to deal with her kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my children.
So Madcap was created to, I guess, like exemplify the youth who weren't taking things seriously. Apparently,
That's the idea.
That was like what it was supposed to.
Yeah, Mark
be.
Rosenwald wanted to say something about like
That's why he
hip
keeps saying
kids.
nothing
What,
matters.
Gen Xers?
Do whatever you want.
Pre-Gen Xers.
or whatever. Like this time period, like he was just like, I don't like these kids.
Yeah.
And like that's what they are to me. But it's also like clearly a commentary on the Joker.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
I
they
think
call him the Joker
there are
at
moments in
times.
this in which he's just like, and I read V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Ah,
And you're like, what?
Like it's like right here where he like does the whole like mild-mannered madcap here. My mission is most magnanimous, and like he just goes on. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Like, what are you doing?
I'm like,
What
well,
is
that
this?
came out in '82.
Yeah. So
Yep.
he definitely read it.
So you're
Yeah.
very well aware of that.
Oh, I stole everything.
Right, but that's
Yeah.
Howard Mackey. What?
he also references the Joker being a different villain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
a
you're
diff-
thinking of a different villain when they call him a Joker.
Yeah.
No. They used to have fun.
It's like
doing that.
Madcap's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the original Deadpool.
Yeah. Well,
But
here's
Yeah.
the deal.
not.
With, yeah.
He
Now,
seems a lot like Deadpool.
now here's the deal with Madcap. Madcap and Deadpool fought and met, and they established that Madcap's healing factor is stronger than Deadpool's. And then both Deadpool and Madcap encounter Thor, and he atomizes them with Mjolnir. He strikes them down with lightning, and their atoms merge together. So when Deadpool reconstitutes, Madcap becomes like an imprinted consciousness that dwells within Deadpool's brain. And so, like, for a long time
Yeah.
in Deadpool comics, you had Deadpool's running monologue and Madcap's commentary along with Deadpool's consciousness.
Oh, that would
Really?
drive
This
me insane.
this paralleled this carried over into the Deadpool video game.
Yeah.
They hired a voice actor to play Madcap, the white text bubble that appears in Deadpool comics.
But then post Secret Wars, I think he's his own guy again.
Yeah, they separated Madcap and gave him his own body again.
and like he like infiltrates a Deadpool team for a little bit,
Suffice it to say, they turned Madcap into a Deadpool villain.
or like villain, or like
Antagonist.
yeah, antagonist, or like thorn in his shoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, because-
Deadpool's like, no, I'm the zany fourth wall breaking
Yeah, and
character.
Madcap's like, I predate you by like almost 10 years.
Madcap's like, but look at my zany hat.
Yeah, and Deadpool's like, that's so over the top, it sucks.
I know.
Humble beginnings, but Madcap becomes an essential component of the Deadpool
I'm not
character.
gonna lie. There's something about Madcap I actually enjoy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I really like. I'm like, this is an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
It is like the Joker without the like obsession
And the horror and the homicide?
Well, we don't know. Like,
Right.
like Madcap could get there, but like you have a guy who is nigh invulnerable, who can affect others, who has no purpose,
Right.
And that is frightening.
Yes.
You can't control
Yeah,
that.
he is
It's
chaos.
Yeah.
And he's trying to sow chaos. Like,
Yeah.
He
all he
specifies
does,
that as
yeah.
one of his
He's
goals.
like chaotic
delightful
neutral.
chaos. Yes.
It's like you don't know where he's gonna fall, and you
Yep.
can't rely on him to do either or.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's admittedly neat.
Right.
Yes, and he's unkillable and unbeatable, so
Right.
Yeah.
he can't be stopped. He's like a god. He's like a mischief god. or
Yeah.
something.
Except somehow he did get beaten and brought to Bellevue.
I wonder if that has ever happened where Loki ran into Madcap.
Yeah, I wonder about that. There you
And
go.
Loki's like, what?
Get out of here.
You're just all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You don't have machinations or anything.
Yeah.
You don't
Like,
have
of course
purpose.
not.
He's like, no, I'm more like you than you.
Yeah, I'm like your like philosophy, but actually like pursued to its ultimate conclusion.
So he's like, damn it.
You're crazy, but you're evil.
Right.
I'm just, out there.
You don't know where I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I could do anything. I could stop a robbery. I could make normal people who are just going about their day crazy. I could do whatever.
Yeah. Either way, I'm ruining lives.
Yep.
When was the last time Loki cut off his own fingers? That's my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
Never?
seen
Oh.
anybody
Do that.
except
in a-
maybe Deadpool
Right.
be like that cavalier about causing injury to themselves.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, I've definitely
it's-
seen Deadpool do that.
Yeah.
So which one's the good, which one's the bad, which one's the ugly? Because as much as we were just singing the praises of Madcap for some reason, all these books are horrible.
I think this is the good.
You think
Which one's
Daredevil's the good?
I think Daredevil's the good. I like the art the best in it, and I really, for some reason, was like that axe scene was like,
Horrific.
Yeah.
Okay, like
pretty good.
I feel like that fits with like the Daredevil, like he's in the shit, like
I'll
mentality.
agree with this, simply because the story of it seemed to make more sense than anything else I wanted to read.
Yeah, and if I had to read one more word of Franklin Richards' horrible like speech pattern that they put in here,
Yes.
I was out.
No, it's true.
Interesting.
But I did like how they portrayed Madcap the best, I think, in this one.
Me too.
Because I think I get him after that issue.
I thought I got him after this issue because like he just like stumbling upon the
Robbery?
the smugglers.
Yes.
Like it's just like no, literally he just stumbled. There's nothing else
Rhyme or
to
reason.
it. Like
Yeah.
he just came upon it.
And when he's talking to Dollar Bill,
Yeah.
he's just
Yeah.
like, no, this is all I'm about.
Yeah, the dollar bill thing also, it gives him a slight edge over Power Pack. It's
I
just
did like Dollar Bill in here.
yeah,
Yeah.
All right, I'm going
But
with this.
I'm not
I
saying,
feel
like-
like this book has more to say.
Right.
That's interesting. Whereas this book, it's just like, again, like he just shows up and
Because
sows
Grunwald again,
chaos,
he's just like,
and
here-
the
That has
hero
more to-
has to like react to him, and I'm like, okay, but I want to see a little more than just like reaction to him. I want to see like, what is the point of this?
Right.
Where are we going with this? And the
Okay.
only one that gave me any like purpose was that one.
But Power Pack had purpose because you were teaching kids
Maybe.
to be
Yes,
responsible.
which is
speculation.
which
I don't
is
know.
goofy.
Yeah.
and
I don't want that lesson. I don't
No.
want to read
I don't
that.
either.
I
I
thought
don't
this
either,
one
but
had,
it does exist.
I thought this one had more to say in that it was like it was truly a Daredevil and Madcap issue where like
Yes.
they barely interact with one
Yeah.
another, but I do love like at the end of it Daredevil's like I don't know how I could have done that any better on this, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's almost as though he's never faced anyone quite like this with such a like disregard
Yeah.
for his own life.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
the
true.
scene where Daredevil, well, all the inner monologue stuff with Daredevil is great, and where he's like trying to decide, like, do I save this like criminal guy who was just trying to murder somebody,
Yeah.
or do I like save the other guy who I
Doesn't
have
wanna be
good
saved.
reason to believe is invulnerable and doesn't want to be saved?
Yeah.
I have to go with like the guy I can definitely
Yeah.
save and hope that the other guy will make it.
Right.
And I think this book does a better job of setting up Madcap and his purpose compared to that book, where he's just like Madcap is just like
Where he exists.
he's an impish character who's
Yes.
going to drive like Dollar Bill crazy for
Yeah.
the rest of Dollar Bill's
Yeah,
life.
Dollar
presumably.
Bill's gonna kill himself.
Yeah, this book
This is
is
the worst
horrible
thing
in every
ever.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This
that's
has
the
got to
ugly.
be the ugly.
That's
for
the
me.
ugly.
Hands down.
For me.
I agree. It's.
I don't know what Ben thinks.
Power Pack was my ugly just because I was bored with it. It's not my cup
Ben
of
doesn't
tea.
like.
No.
It does a better job of a story than this one, but I just had a harder time reading it. I reveled in the fact that Jack Monroe sucks.
No, I didn't
That
because because the book title is Captain America.
He's not even in the book.
He's not even. Well, he is.
Captain
in the book. He's in the
America
first
takes a
pages.
transatlantic flight.
Yeah.
Yep,
That
you
I
have
didn't even get
skip
to
all
see.
this.
Yeah. By the
No,
way,
that sucks.
you guys know that this Nomad, that Jack Monroe, is the same character from the Nomad #1 we did on this very show.
I hate that even more.
With his discs and the baby on his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
the same Nomad.
It's trash.
Yeah, I do like how crappy Jack is.
I like-
I
Yeah.
do take delight
And
in
I think
how much
Grunwald
misfortune
knows
comes
how much
to
he
him.
sucks. Like I think Grunwald's doing it on purpose.
I hope
And
that
so.
being said,
Because of that, I was okay with it.
No.
I like the fact that Jack is a bad hero and that he's just bad in his general
right,
life.
he
I
just
feel like
sucks.
there's stronger ways to show that. That
I think it was funny, but it was also the worst one. This
Yeah.
is whatever. Yeah, the ugly. My question is it wrong box material? Was it that bad?
It's pretty bad.
It at least fulfills the premise of being a Nomad book, but you're
But
right,
that's
it's
not what
not a
they
Captain
asked.
America
it's
book.
this, this
Yeah.
isn't Nomad featuring
Like, if this was
Madcap.
the only appearance of Madcap, would that be enough? No.
Yes. Like, here's
It's
the thing.
not even-
I don't need enough from it.
Right.
Like, he just... I understand that he's invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that he's crazy and that he wants to sow chaos in the world. That's it.
We don't even get to see what happens to Madcap.
No.
No.
There's no closure.
It doesn't.
no,
I guess
and
it continues to the next
instead
book.
it introduces
Another
another
villain.
villain team.
Yes.
I'm like,
randomly another villain at the end. It's wrong for me. It's a wrong box. That's my vote.
I'm voting for it too.
You know what it is? I'm thinking of it in comparison to the other stuff that's in there, and it's nowhere near as bad as the stuff that's in there.
No, that's
but
fair.
if we
That is
wanted to get
fair.
any
That's
bigger,
fair.
I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, there we
Because
go.
it's just so crappy. You know what it was? When I read this, well, in comparison especially, like I read these in order,
Yeah.
and each one got better for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's frustrating is that it's like
And this is so dumb.
it's so stupid. It's not a Captain America book. it's not even these both are written by the same guy.
Yeah, and yet one of is more competently made.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Like this Captain America book is a disaster. Like let's look at Cap and Captain Britain. Okay, never mind. That summed up whatever has happened before.
Yep.
Okay, now it's Nomad. Okay, cool. With Madcap, new villain, who's gonna go after? But instead of dealing with that, serpent people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jack has to get himself a job.
Yeah, and let's
Yep,
like
and then
follow
lose
that
it.
thread of logic. The other thing is, this book felt like it was written in 1955, and
It
it came out in
did.
1985.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
a weird
all
throwback.
of the bag boy stuff really read like an old Batman comic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember, and I've read older comics from that era, and I'm like, this is exactly what that's like.
Yep.
And this is really, really not. There's no excuse for this. Kraven the Hunter shoots himself in the head a year after this book's published. There's no excuse for that.
yeah.
Look, it's bad.
Yeah.
It is very bad.
I'd say it's so bad.
But I had more
It's
fun
annoying.
reading.
I hear what
That's
you're saying.
why. That's all.
You know what? I liked the Bag Boy stuff, but
Oh, yeah.
only here on the show.
Yeah, when we talked
When I was
about
reading it, I'm like, fuck this.
yeah.
But like, I enjoy it now in context, but that's
Yeah.
not enough to save this book.
Yeah.
No.
So off you go.
All right, wrong boxed.
There you have it. That was our pick for the wrong box. One of these days we got to do like a wrong box roundup where we like
Redemption?
yeah, redemption wrong box
Oh.
episode. But for now, let us know in the comments down below what themes you want to see in the future of this show. We'll see you guys then. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.
It's Zadie!
Oh, it's bad. That sucks.